1930s, a battle waged in the dusty outback of Western Australia, a war so peculiar it would become a legend, a tale of man and machine against nature's most formidable flightless birds, the emu. Picture the scene. Vast wheat fields stretched to the horizon, a testament to the determination of the Australian farmers. After the Great War, these soldier settlers were granted land, toiling against the odds, fighting to survive the Great Depression that gripped the world. Desperation and determination entwined in their struggle, for their livelihoods depended on the success of their crops. Then, an unexpected foe emerged. A force of 20,000 emus, drawn to the lush fields and abundant water of the farms. These impressive birds, 6 feet tall, thundered through the land, devouring crops and leaving destruction in their wake. Their movements were as unpredictable as the wind, breaking fences and clearing paths for rabbits, which only added to the farmers' misery. Faced with this avian invasion, the farmers sought help from the government, appealing to the Minister of Defence, Sir George Pearce. Machine guns, they believed, could turn the tide against the feathered marauders. And so Sir Pearce agreed with conditions. The military would lend their expertise, the Western Australian government would provide transport, and the farmers would supply food, accommodation, and payment for ammunition. Thus, the stage was set for a conflict unlike any other. In the autumn of 1932, the Australian military, led by Major Gwynedd Purvis Wyn Aubrey Meredith, embarked on a mission to quell the emu insurgency. Armed with 2 Lewis guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, they sought to protect the farmers' crops and livelihoods. But the emus, it seemed, had plans of their own. As the soldiers tried to herd them into an ambush, the birds scattered, evading the soldiers' sights. The first engagements were failures, with only a handful of emus falling to the soldiers' guns. The emus had learned to adapt, and their guerrilla tactics proved confounding to the military. Undeterred, Major Meredith pressed on, seeking new strategies to outwit these avian adversaries. He even mounted a machine gun on a truck, hoping to chase down the elusive birds. But the emus proved too swift and agile, the terrain too rough, and the soldiers' aim suffered. As the weeks wore on, public opinion began to turn against the campaign. The press mocked the military's efforts, labeling it the Emu War. Despite the soldiers' best attempts, they had little to show for their efforts. Sir George Pearce, now dubbed the Minister of the Emu War, withdrew the troops, the first attempt a resounding failure. But the emus did not relent. The farmers, weary and beleaguered, once more appealed for help. The Premier of Western Australia, James Mitchell, championed their cause, and by mid-November, the military was back in action. This time, they found some success, claiming nearly 1,000 emu kills by the campaign's end. In the aftermath, the soldiers marveled at the emus' resilience, comparing them to Zulu warriors and tanks, seemingly impervious to gunfire. The Great Emu War, a curious chapter in Australian history, had drawn to a close, yet the echoes of this strange conflict lingered. In the years that followed, farmers would again seek military assistance against the emus, only to be denied. Bounty systems and exclusion barrier fencing would become the new weapons against the ever-encroaching emus, and so the Great Emu War faded into the annals of history, a peculiar tale of man's struggle against the indomitable force of nature. Over time, it became a symbol of human tenacity, the farmer's relentless pursuit of survival in the face of adversity. The emus, too, gained a certain mystique. These giant birds, seemingly impervious to gunfire, agile and cunning, had outwitted an entire military force. Their guerrilla tactics, their ability to adapt and survive, earned them a grudging respect from the very people who sought to vanquish them. The story of the Great Emu War serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the resilience of both human and animal. In the face of adversity, both sides found the strength and determination to persevere, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. As we reflect on this curious episode from the past, we can find wisdom in its lessons. The Great Emu War teaches us the importance of understanding the world around us, of respecting the power of nature and the creatures that inhabit it. It shows us that, while conflict may arise, It is through adaptation and perseverance that we can ultimately prevail. If you liked this content and would like more of it, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.